Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Anirban and I'm here to make you a better programmer. So in the last video, we have created our celebrity contracts to make our voting system. In this video, we will be making the UI of our smart contracts or DApp, and we will be connecting that UI to our smart contract that we have deployed in our last video. So let's get started. Okay, so what we will do here is 1 minute. I'll just make it a little down. Okay, so we have the DApp folder here, which holds all our smart contracts and all that we created last video. We will be creating the another folder called UI, so that we will be using for Vite to do that. Okay, so let me just let me open up a new window and search for Vite React. This will give you a get started with Vite. Okay. So what Vite is a framework to quickly create your TypeScript project or React or front-end projects. We will be using npm create Vite for you can use npm, you can use yarn, whatever you can. So in this video I'll be using yarn for now. If you don't have yarn, you can just directly install yarn, and you use npm install global yarn. That will install yarn for you, but you can directly go ahead with npm create like we did last time. But what I have found, I'm trying to experiment with the new things, so I just want to use yarn for now. What I'll do, yarn create Vite. It will ask you for the project name. I will call it credential voting web3 voting. This is the project name. What is the package name? Let's call it same, not an issue. Let's select React. We can create TypeScript, and it's done. So it will create a UI. I'll just name it UI, rename it to UI, because that will make it easier to understand from the front, from the folder structure point of view. And I can go to this UI folder now. So this is the same folder here. What I have to do, I have to first install everything. You can use npm if you are using npm, just use npm install, or in case I'm using yarn, so you can use yarn, and it will automatically install all the packages for you. I'm using yarn because what I have found, it installs packages and do the stuff a little bit faster than npm. Yeah, it's pretty fast, that's why. Okay, so once we have our dependencies installed, we can directly use yarn dev. It will open up a Vite dev environment or dev front end. In this URL, you can control click here, or you can just copy this and open it in your browser. So this is your 1 minute. Okay, so this is your initial project that you have that we have created. The framework has created for us. What I will do, I'll just stop this with Control C or Command C. I'll open up VS Code here, type code and dot. It will open up VS Code in that folder, and we have our VS Code running here. So I'll just zoom the window or make the font bigger so that you can see. Okay, what I will do, I will just open up a new terminal here. I don't need this. Okay, now what I will do, dev, it will open up the dev server again, and I will open up a new terminal in the side by side to do other stuffs. Now what we have, if you see the file folder structure or file browser, we have app.tsx and main.txs and some assets folder. Here we have some predefined or pre-written components. Let me just make this window side by side so that we can see what is happening in the UI section. Okay, let me just, okay, so now whatever you see in the left hand side is basically is the sample stuff that has been already placed here. I can just remove this altogether, don't need this part, save it, and this will, for some reason, did not reload the page. Let me just see. Oh, okay. Yarn dev, I think it is in the wrong port. Okay, so what happens is the moment you change anything, it will automatically reflect in the right hand side, so it will be helpful for you to see what you are doing. Now what we will be doing here in this video is we'll be focusing on the state of the application. So I want this video to be production grade or something similar, close to a production grade application. So what I want to do is I want to focus on the state management first, so that it will help us to build our application. If the application is a complex one, it will be help us to build it. It will be easy to manage the application. Okay, so to do that, what I will do, I will create a folder called state, and what we will be using is Redux Toolkit to manage the states. You can go here, you can click on get started, go to installation. Here you can use npm install, or you can use, if you are using yarn like me, you can go to yarn.add. Whatever you choose, it's totally fine, and it will not affect our video, or it will not be your steps will not be affected, whatever you, based on your decisions. Okay, so I'll just add this Redux toolkit. I will also need to add React Redux. Okay, now I will add React Redux. Now let's go to quick start. Okay, first we have to create a store. For that, I'll just copy the boilerplate here, whatever is there. I'll create a new file called store, new file store.ts, and we'll put the boilerplate code here. What is doing, it's configuring a store here for us. This store will manage all our state of the application, and all the reducer or the functions or services that we write. I like to call them services. All the services that we are going to write that will manage our state will go in the reducers part. Okay, and this entire thing will be accessible throughout our application by all the components, so it will be pretty easy to manage or get any data from our store. Okay, so I like to add one more stuff here, that is, I like to add the app selector, and this will come from React Redux, and use selector is also come from React Redux. So what it will do is we have use selector in our Redux library, which we can use to pull out the variable from our store, but it will not give you type. So because we are using TypeScript, so we want this to have our the type available for us. For that, we'll just create a custom version of that, which will have our store type, which is mentioned here, store get state, and it will give you the type of that. This root state is basically the state, it is an interface of your store. Okay, so we have our basic store setup. We want to now add the services. So we'll create two services. One is wallet service. One is wallet service. One is contract service. Wallet service will handle all the wallet connecting to your MetaMask wallet and stuff, and getting your address, getting your network ID, or all the other stuff, and provider and signer. And contract will give you the state of your smart contract. What are the what are the actions like voting for a candidate, fetch the candidate votes, and all these stuff. Okay, so let's create a folder first called services, and inside this we'll create a file called wallet.service.ts. This is just a naming convention that I am using. It doesn't have to have the same name, but you can use any name. This is something that I like to use. Okay, so to create a wallet service, what we will use a slice. So if you go to the Redux docs, there is an option API reference, and there is a create slice option. So what this does, let's just copy it first for a boilerplate or sample code. This will create a slice for us. What we'll do is we'll change the counter to wallet, so it will change the name. Oh, not this, wallet. So this will create a wallet slice for us. So how do you create the service that I am talking about is a kind of in Redux term it's called slice, or Redux Toolkit term it's called slice, and this slice will go inside our store. So once we have the store, we will change these stuffs in a moment. Let me just remove everything from here. It's not required. Reducers, fine. Let me just export this as well. I just want to export this into our store. So what we will do here is wallet slice, and it will automatically do the auto import dot name. It will give you the name, and as well as it will give you, and I mean how you configure a store is inside the reducer. You have to give what is this service name, and what is the services functions of the service, which is the reducers of the services. So so in the slice dot name will be the name that will come from this part, and the value of that service will be the reducers of that slice. So it will come from the reducer part. So it will automatically connect that slice or that service from our service file to our store file. Okay, now let's complete the wallet service first. Okay, so we don't want this increment or decrement, anything like this. We don't want this. What we want is we want to create a wallet state interface, which will indicate us what will be the state of our slice, or internal state of the slice. What are the variables that we are going to store in the state, or in the store in this particular store. So slice is a part of a store, and that slice has its own store values. Think of it like this. Okay, so here in the wallet, what we want is an connected account address. We want account address which will be a string. We also want to know network ID, like which Ethereum or which blockchain network the current wallet is connected to. If is it a Ethereum network, Polygon network, Optimism, or whatever it is. So every network has its own ID. So that network ID we need that as well. It will be a number. For this part, we want to use MetaMask exclusively because I don't want to integrate all the other wallets in this video. It will become a complex or very long video. So we want this to be a MetaMask exclusive video. So we'll want to know a variable which will tell us if MetaMask is installed or not in your browser. So for that we'll need to know MetaMask variable. This will be a boolean, and these are all the things that we want to know. There are few other stuff that will be helpful if we have, like, is the wallet still in the connecting state? So it will be connecting, is connecting, boolean is if the wallet is already connected, so we don't have to connect it again. Is connected. I hope my spelling is right. Boolean, we want to know if there is an error while connecting. Error. So this will only store the state, what if there is any error, or this will just a flag for us to, for our UI to react upon. Okay, so these are the flags and these are the actual values that we want to store here. What we will now need to do is we will create an initial state, which will be, first we need to know, let me just copy this entire thing and put it here. All the default flags are false, and addresses, because if you see there is a question mark I have entered here, that means if this field is optional, this field is optional. That means if I don't even put it here, that the TypeScript will not throw any error, so we can remove it for now. And MetaMask, no, MetaMask is false. Okay, now this part we can directly get it at the beginning of the initialization, because if the MetaMask is present, we will get to know that by adding a condition like this. So if the MetaMask is present or installed in your browser, you will be able to access it from the global variable called window. So we'll need window dot because of TypeScript I'm converting it to any type, otherwise it will throw error that Ethereum doesn't present here. Ethereum, by default TypeScript will throw error because Ethereum is not a part of window, but if you install MetaMask, this will automatically come in the window object. So I'm just converting the window to any so that TypeScript doesn't throw any error. Now not is equal to equal undefined. So if Ethereum is undefined, then there is no MetaMask. If it is defined, this will become false, the MetaMask is present. So this variable we can instantly initialize it in the beginning of the code. Now what we want to achieve here is we want to connect the wallet and attach the wallet whenever the application is opened. So we only want to attach the wallet if it is already connected, but we don't want to connect the wallet the moment application loads. So the moment user clicks on the connect button, then only we want to call the connect wallet function. But we want to attach call the attach wallet the moment application load, so that if the wallet is already connected to our application, we don't want user to click and check if it is connected or not. It should be automatically refreshed and connected to the our MetaMask. Okay, so to do that, we want to cache two stuff, which is I will create a variable called config, and I want to create a provider and a signer. This is a part of Ethers.js. So what we will need is we need a Ethers.js library, which will Ethers npm. If you see, this is the Ethers library. This is the basically the what I have found the best Web3 library that people are using, and you can directly call npm I ethers to install it. I'm using yarn, so yarn add ethers, and now you will have these two types. Okay, so I want provider, I want signer to be a part of global variable of our JavaScript file, and this should be accessible from anywhere in our application. So export, I want to export this. I want to export a function, not the entire this file, this variable get signer. So in other part of the code, we only want the signer, not the provider. We can as long as we have the signer, we can do all the stuff. We can do all the stuff that provider can do. We can also do the stuff that signer can do. So signer is a greater version of the provider. Provider is only read only kind stuff of the wallet. So I want a function which will give me the signer, and this is the function that will give me config.signer. So why I need this is I cannot directly get the signer from other part of the code, because signer is a variable or is a RPC module that cannot be put in the Redux Toolkit state. It will throw an error if you put signer in your state. But we also still want the signer to be available on everywhere in the code. So what we are creating a function which will give me the signer the moment it is installed, or if it is initialized. So what we will do, we'll initialize the signer in some part of our wallet connect functions, and other part of the code can call this function to get the signer if it is installed or if it is initialized. If it is not initialized, you cannot get it, you will get null. So to do that, we'll have two functions. One is connect wallet and one is attach wallet. So before that, I want to put a code which will check if MetaMask is present or not. If MetaMask is present, it will initialize the provider. So config dot, again I'm checking if Ethereum object is present in window global window variable. If it is not present, if it is not null, then I'll just use config dot provider equals new ethers. Okay, ethers dot browser provider, and here we'll just put this Ethereum object as a part of the argument, and that's all. It will give me the provider that we need. Okay. So along with that, we also want to do two more stuff. One is, if anytime user reloads or anytime user change the account, or let's say change the network, then we want to reload our application as well. So to do that, we want two event listeners attached to our Ethereum object. One is account changed. I have a video around here somewhere to where I have explained this, how to access or use these events. Okay, so to access these events, we have to use on event handler and event listener, and here we have the event name which is account changed. The moment account is changed, this event will be called, and what we want to do is window.location.reload. So it will just reload the application. We want to do the same for if there is a network change. Just put a semicolon here. This will, okay, chain changed. This will be chain changed. See, chain changed. Yes. Okay, so we have our store setup, we have our wallet service being written. What we, before going any further, what I just want to test this part, that it's reloading our application or not. Just let me just bring back these dummy elements, and what I want here is I want to put everything. So we want to initialize this store. To do that, we have in the go to the quick start, we have all these. So here if you see, we have to wrap our application in this provider. So let me just copy this and put it here in the main, and put the app inside this provider, and this we can include this provider from React Redux. So this will import it here, and we want to import the store from our store file, which is this one. So this will automatically store the store file, get the store file, and it will put the store in the provider. This will integrate our Redux store into our application. Now whatever we do here should be affecting our application. Let's test it. Okay, so if I change the chain, let me just disconnect for now. Okay, let me just change the chain from Optimus to Ethereum. So you can see our application is also reloading. It's a very small very fast reload, so it might not be visible easily. So yeah, what I can do here is I can go inspect, go to network, and I can put a throttle here, slow 3G. That way it will be very slow change or slow reload. Let me now. So you can see our page is reloading because we have changed the network. Right, let me go back to Polygon again. It's again another reload because we have changed the network. Let's test it for account change, account 2, and let's go to development account. This should also trigger a reload. Let's try again. So account change will only work once we have our account connected to the network, because account change needs that, which if the connected account change, so there is no account currently connected, so there is no point of testing it. So we'll test it once we have our account ready. So what I want before proceeding forward is I want you guys to install this. Go to the Chrome Web Store if you are using Web Chrome, and search for Redux and install this Redux Depp tool. Okay, so what this will help us do is debug our program or our code. So once you have Redux web tool ready, refresh this page, you will see there's a tab called Redux here, and you will be able to see whatever we are building here as a tree form here. So we have our main state here, and in the state we have a wallet slice, and the wallet slice has a connected, is connecting, connected, error connecting, and no MetaMask. So all of these are false because that is what we initialized them. Now the moment we set up all the other variables here, which is these two, will automatically, you will see appearing automatically here. So let's see. Let me put this in the bottom corner. Okay, Now what we want here is we want to have two function, which one will create the one will connect the wallet, another one is attach the wallet. So let me just put these two here, and we'll call it export cons attach wallet equals, we want to create a async slice. It's a kind of slice of in terms of Redux, but it's an async form of slice or a function. So if you go in the Redux toolkit page, you will have an option called async, create async thunk, and this is a sample code. What I will do here is just copy this part, and this is the async code. We just have to put it here, and we'll just import it from the Redux toolkit. Okay, so here there are two part. One is the name of the this event, so it will throw up an event in our Redux, so this name has to be unique for each and every async function. So what I usually do is I keep the same name as the slice for the beginning part of the or the first part of the function, and second part of the function I just give the function name. Okay, now this will give the unique name, and second is the async function that will be executed when we call this function or call this action, async action. So let me just remove this part, it's not required. And another thing is, because we are using TypeScript, we can specify the input type, the output type, and in the input type first will be the output type. For in this case we want the attach, after we attach the wallet to MetaMask or our application to MetaMask, we want the account address that is connected to our connected to MetaMask, or we also want the network ID. So let me just put a type here called address, and this will be string, and we want the network ID, this will be number. Okay, input is not required. Okay, input is not required, so we can put void here. And there are few other stuff in the async. There's a thunk API variable, but we only need that our store type state or store type, which will state, and the state type has to be root state. Yeah, so this will tell the TypeScript that our state, which we'll be able to get it from this variable, is of type root state, which is coming from here. Okay, now there is no input, so it's throwing error because we don't have any input. Okay, we can just put a underscore here. That means we're not interested in this variable. What we are interested in is the type of or getting the wallet connected or attached. So for that, first let's check if our wallet is connected, already connected or not. To do that, let's first remove this, and we can destructure this thunk API to get only the thing that we want, which is get state function. This will give us the state, the entire application state, or this state of the store, which is basically this variable. Let me get state equals get state. Okay, so we have our state ready, and we want to check if okay, yeah, if state dot wallet dot okay, so we also want to attach another type here, which is null, in case there is the application is not already connected to our MetaMask, so we want to return a null in that case. So let me put a return null at the end, and here we can do our rest of the application. Why this is giving me unknown? This should not give me unknown. I think there is an error somewhere. Let me just okay, so what I will do here is, there was an error for some other reason. Okay, so wallet dot no MetaMask. If the MetaMask is not present, then we can directly return null. That means we cannot do anything if MetaMask is not there. Return null. Okay, now what we will do, if MetaMask is present, then only this part of the code will be executed, and we can check if the wallet is already connected to the our application is already connected to the wallet. So to do that, we have to see if we are able to get all the accounts from the provider. Accounts equals await. Is it an async function? Yes. Config dot provider. So we also need to put this in our guard clause, which is or provider equal undefined. If provider is also not initialized, then we will not be able to do anything. So we have to do we have to return a null as well. So once we come to this line, that means both MetaMask is present, also provider is initialized. So this will always work. This line will always be executed if MetaMask is installed. So once from the provider, we can get list account function. This will list out all the accounts that is connected to our application, and we only want to know the first account that is connected, so that is the active account. Now if wallet is not connected, okay, so let's get the network as well first. Okay, before that, if account first or account dot length equal 0, then only we will not be able to do anything. That means our application is not connected to the wallet. Return null. Okay, now let's get the network ID. Network ID equals which is await config dot provider dot get network, and this will give us the entire network object. We don't need the entire network object, we only need the chain ID of the network. So if you see, this is of type big int, but we are storing number in our network ID. That's because big int is something that our Redux store cannot store, or the Redux store cannot serialize. So what we will do, we'll just convert this big int to number. To do that, we'll call number constructor, and this will give us a number type. If you see, this is a number now. Okay, let's remove this, or we don't need this part. We'll remove address is accounts of 0 dot address, and we also need the network ID. Network ID is coming from network ID. This will be a successful call, and it will give us a network ID from the attached wallet. So this will give this is a function that will attach our application to the wallet if it's already connected. We need another function which will connect the wallet to network, wallet to application if it is not already connected. So when user clicks on the connect, then only this function will be called. So let's do the same thing. Export const connect wallet. Okay, connect wallet. Same thing, I'll just copy paste this part and put it here, but this time we'll just have to update this one. Everything looks same. Okay, here the difference here will be, we'll again have all these stuff, but we don't need to check if account is present or not, because we will be connecting to the account. It has to be present after this. So what we will do, we'll get a signer from here. Okay, when we connect to the wallet, we will be asking for a signer. So from the config signer and the provider, we'll call the get signer of the get signer function from the provider, and this will give us a signer. The moment we call this will ask the MetaMask wallet for from the front end, like from this part, to connect to this application, and user has to specifically click on connect. Then only this signer will be called. This signer this module will be initialized, otherwise we'll not be able to. That's why if it's already connected, this pop-up will not be called. If it is not connected, then only this pop-up will be called. So what we want here, we want this to be called in the attached wallet only if the account is already connected. That means there is an account associated with the list account function. So if it is there, if there is an account connected to this application, then only we want to call the get signer or get and initialize the signer. That way it will not ask the user to connect in case it is not connected. But in this connect wallet, we want the user to click on connect, so that's why we'll just go ahead and call the signer and initialize the signer. It will open up the pop-up, user will click on the signer, and we'll get the signer in our variable, and we'll be able to do other stuff or execute contract code from this signer. And once we have the signer, it's the same thing like attach wallet. We'll get the account ID, network ID, and return these things. Okay, that's all. Let's do some stuff let's test these. Okay, also let me just go to network and change the throttle to no throttling, otherwise it will just keep on throttling my application. Okay, let me create a new folder here called common. And in this common, I want a folder called components. In this component folder, I will create all the reusable components that I want to create here, or that we want to use in our application. Here we want a connect button, and in this I want to create an index file, index.tsx. Okay, let's create a React functional component called connect button. Now in this, we can now use our store functions to deploy or call the store functions from here. What we want here is, we want to know if it is already connecting, if it is connected, and what is the address of our application. So is connecting equals use app selector. This will automatically import it from the store file. Use app selector s dot wallet dot is connecting. So we want to supply a function which will point to which will take state as an input and put the variable that we want. So state, from the state we went to the wallet, which is this part, and then we went to is connecting. This app selector now will give me the is connecting variable from our retrieve from our state automatically, because our application is now wrapped with this provider. This use app selector will be available for each and every component. Same we want to do it for is connected, is dead, and we want to do it for address. Account address. Let's call the account address. Now this will be a button, and in the button we want the button to show the address of our wallet only if it is already connected, and if it is not connected we want it to show connect button text. So what it will be, this account address is not present because our wallet is not connected, so it will be only available if our wallet is already connected to the application. So we'll check if it is there, and if wallet address is there, and we'll put a fragment and we'll put a text called account address. So if account address is present, then only put account address, else maybe it's a better way to, there is a better way to do that, but let's go with it for now. And let's do the opposite of that. If account address is not present, then type connect wallet. Okay, also I want this button to be disabled whenever it's already connected. So disabled if account address not is equal to null, or is connecting. If it is already connecting, then I don't want it to show, or I don't want this this button to be enabled. So let's see how this looks. Let's go to our application, and I'll remove everything from here and put the connect button in our application. Okay, so our application, okay, 1 minute. If is it connecting is on? No. Button is disabled if is connecting is true, or account address undefined. Okay, so if account address is undefined or is connecting is false, then only this will be disabled. So now if I click on this button, nothing is happening because we are not we have not attached any event handler from in here. Let's attach an event handler. On click, and here we'll put e and e dot stop propagation to stop this event to be propagated further and prevent any default action than whatever we are specifying. Now what we want to do is we want to call that connect wallet async action, but we want a dispatch. This is an action that needs to be dispatched from our Redux store equals to use dispatch. So this will create a dispatch function. We will create a function and we'll use this dispatch hook to dispatch that function to our store, and our reducer will call that action. Now after this dispatch, I want this to have a type of app dispatch. That way we have all our type checking correct. Now in the dispatch we want to call the connect wallet function. Okay, now this will create our trigger our connect wallet code that we have written in our wallet service. Let's check this. Okay, let me just put this here, and for now we'll just put this here. That way we'll be able to see. Let me just do it again. Okay, this is triggering my MetaMask because we in the wallet service we have this signer called anyway, even if it is not connected. So I'll connect now, connect, and fine. If you see, our is connecting is still false, is connected is still false. So nothing has changed in our state because we have not told our store to change anything based on our this output of this function. So but if we see now, if I connect this again, it will not call the pop-up of MetaMask because it's already connected. So if the wallet is already connected to the app, even if you call it, it will not open up that pop-up. That's the point. So if the wallet is already connected, we don't want to call we only want to connect it if the wallet is already. We don't want to call this function automatically. We want this to be triggered from a button. Okay, so now so how to do the state change once this function is done? What we will do here is we'll go click on the connect, we'll copy the connect wallet, go to our slice. Here is a section we have to add called extra reducers, and this will create a builder, give us a builder, and this builder dot will call add case. In this we'll give our connect wallet and we'll call pending. In the add case, first argument will be the type of event. So the pending is just when the function is called, this event will be triggered and we will get state and we'll get one action. So what we want, the moment this function is called, we want this, we want to reset all the state before setting anything. So what we'll do, state dot is connecting for is connected false, state dot is connecting true, state dot error connecting false. So because it's now trying to connect, we triggered this is connecting as a true. So that will trigger a flag in our state. At the same time, just copy this part and do a paste, paste it twice, and you will change this to pending to fulfilled. That means the action is successfully completed, and change it to second one, change it to rejected. So when we select the fulfilled, that means this function is called successfully and we have our result here. So we want to check two things: if our action has a action payload, which is let payload equals action dot payload, and we want to check if it is a null or it has a value. So if payload, if not payload, if payload is null, then we'll just first we'll just change this connecting to false because it's not connecting anymore, and we will not do anything. So we'll just if it is not there, return state. If it is not if it is not null, that means we got some data and we want to update that data. So that means it's connected true, and we want to store the address of the of our state, which is account address, which will be payload and address. So the payload will be the value that has been written from this function or from this action, address, and we also want to store the which is that network ID is equal to payload dot network ID. So that is that. and we don't want this anymore, so this is already set as a null. Again, for the rejected case, we want connected false, connecting also false, SE, and this will be true, so that our UI will subscribe to this variable and get to know that there is an error. Now if I go back and see, there is nothing changed here, and if I click on connect, you will see two more variable coming up, which is account address, which is the address of our wallet that is connected right now. If you see, you can verify FB and FB, and this is also FB, and our network ID is 137, that is Polygon network. If I change it to Ethereum and connect the wallet, you will see it will be network ID as 1, because Ethereum is first network and it is 1. Okay, now we have attach our connect wallet. Also, let's do the same thing for attach wallet. Let's copy this entire stuff and put it here, and we'll just change this connect to attach. Connect pen, attach pending. Looks good. Yeah. So let's see. Again, now what you want to do is, if our wallet is already connected, we don't want this connect wallet to appear as connect wallet, because this already connected. We don't want user to again go and click on connect wallet to see if it is connected or not. If you see Uniswap, and open up Uniswap, see my account is already connected even if I have not clicked the connect wallet. So if I disconnect it, which is from here, then only if I refresh now, then only, because my wallet is now disconnected, this connect button is appearing. So I have to connect. I'm connecting now. Disconnected, it's appearing as my wallet address is coming up. And if I close this tab and open it in a new tab, even if it is reopened, the application still knows that my wallet is connected and doesn't ask me to connect again. So that's what we want. For right now, if I refresh this, my wallet is still appearing as connect wallet. For that reason, we have created this attach wallet function, and I will just call it in the beginning of the app, where this use an use effect, and this will fire only once the app is called. So what we will do, the same thing, just go back here and create a dispatch. We don't want this, and import from state, import from Redux, and we'll call a dispatch if it is not connected or connecting. Okay, so for that we also need these two. Just copy these and put it in your application. We only want connecting and is connected. Okay, let's just put it in a dispatch. We don't need this, and let's put our attach wallet function. Let's remove all this unnecessary stuff. Okay, so if you see now, even if we refresh the page, if our wallet is connected already to the application, it will automatically know that and will update our account address and all. Now I want to test our previous stuff, that if I change my account, will it work? Connect. So see, if I change my account, it automatically refreshes, because we have that event attached in the beginning. Yes. Okay, Now we have our connect button ready, and this is also disabled because if it is already connected, it will disable it. Now if I disconnect our application from here, let me disconnect it, let me refresh it, and there is another application still connected, which is this one. Switch to this account. I want this to be disconnected as well. Okay, now there is no account connected to our application. Let me refresh this, and now we can see the connect wallet coming up again, and if user clicks here, it will know that the account is connected. Okay, and we have our initial stage ready for to create our application. We want another service called contract service. So that's all for this video, and the next video we'll create the contract service, which will have all the functions to call variables or values to our contract. In the future videos, we'll not be focusing on the connect button anymore, because I have created plenty of tutorials for this connect button stuff. Okay, see you guys in the next video, and stay tuned for the next one.